Display my visage over the internet? Oh, Jesus.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday!
That's right,
Greetings,
folks.
programs.
Hide your virgins, because they're much more. Because the sacrifice is a lot more fun when we have to hunt them down. This is High Class Geek News.
Yay! Wait a minute. Whoa. You're assuming virgins will have anything to do with us.
I'm assuming virgins are not endangered species.
I mean, we got 2 married guys and 2 huge nerds. Virgins are completely safe. Put them out in the open, people. They won't even come near us.
Oh, God. David, as I have already pointed out in the description, apparently you just don't fucking sleep.
No, I sleep. I just don't get sleep. But I've always got an eye out for something that can be used on High Class Geek.
No kidding. Once again, I have done virtually no research whatsoever, aside from the one that scares everyone the most. We'll get to that.
Someone got a call from the girlfriend, and she got a positive pregnancy test.
That would assume Evan has a girlfriend.
He brings up a valid point.
I'm just going to drink my beer on that one.
Beer.
Coffee.
A nice episode brought to you by beer.
Helping
Beer.
ugly people get laid since 1826.
Beer is good.
Because without beer, you wouldn't have been conceived.
No, without gin, I wouldn't have been conceived, but that's beside the point.
Whiskey.
Without the song The Sound of Silence, I would not have been conceived, but that's beside the point.
Without Woman on Top, I would not have been conceived, but that's aside from the point. Let's just kick off our main stories. Just leave out any hints at the moment. I'm going to say this one first so we can get some of the bad news out of the way. Actually, let me take a second because I should have mentioned this last week and failed to do so, and even failed to write it down now. But I would like to have a moment to address the loss of Maya Angelou, one of the greatest storytellers humanity has ever given us, and possibly the greatest storyteller of our and the last 3 or 4 generations.
Very much so. She was considered to be a griot by many, which is an ancient African storyteller. She was a huge activist during the Civil Rights Movement. I mean, honestly, a person like that we just will not see again probably in our generation. And I don't know if she was a drinker, but I'll drink one for her.
Cheers to you, Bard. May you continue telling your stories in the hereafter.
I feel the need to say this. And now for something completely different.
And now for something completely different.
As he drinks the coffee.
And now we go to the current news. Let's see. Once again, to get the bad things out of the way. As I'm sure you guys are aware, because it's literally the only thing that's been on Twitter and Facebook for the last 48 hours or so. Tracy Morgan is currently in critical condition after a 6-vehicle accident that apparently got started when he was crashed into by a tractor trailer. And
I'll be right back.
With him were fellow comedians Artie Fuqua and Harris Stanton, who were also injured. I'm not sure if they're critical too or not. The driver has made bail of $50,000. I honestly don't know any details beyond that. I don't know if this was recklessness on the part of the driver or if he was tired or what have you. I can't tell you having a truck driver for a mom, they have to work some really shitty hours.
Yeah, well, it was a Walmart truck, which would explain why he made bail already. Number one. And we have a rabbit.
Ah.
Good day, gentlemen.
Hello, rabbits.
Hello.
Nice of you to join us.
Wait a minute.
On the other hand, David left, so I'm not sure if you guys are not the same person or not.
I would like to point something out. This is now the biggest panel we've ever had.
Ooh, we have to talk like a CNN panel, and everybody talk at once like you have something really important to say, and nobody makes any sense.
No, Jason.
No, let me tell you exactly what's going on here. No, this is absolutely unacceptable.
It was aliens, but it was aliens.
Wow, Evan, don't ever do that again.
You only say that because I got the hair for it.
Exactly. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah. not the most geek thing, the Tracy Morgan thing, but we really do hope him a speedy recovery because we can never have too many laughs in this world.
Dude,
Exactly.
change your water. Don't let the other guy change lanes.
And to all you other viewers, to anybody driving, just try to remember when passing a truck, particularly a tractor trailer, the left side, that's the passing side. The other one is the suicide.
Apologies, gents. There was an accident.
Wow,
Yes,
was
we were
that?
just reporting on it.
But I'm bummed.
Going on to good news. We have things to celebrate.
Yes.
15 days ago, we had the 70th anniversary of D-Day. If anybody's saying that's a little too mainstream, let's keep in mind that we have in the geek world a very important person who was there, storming that beach of Normandy in France on D-Day, and that was Scotty, or as some people like to refer to him, James Doohan.
Now,
But hey, we'll always know him as Scotty.
Let's also not forget the wonderful contributions made to us by Christopher Lee during World War II.
Oh, yeah.
Silently killing Nazis for fun.
I would love to not forget those, but I would have to know what they are first. And sadly, he knows how to keep a secret.
And
Well,
also during the World War II time, one of I don't know if you'd want to call him one of the most accomplished directors of comedy, was a fellow sapper, and that would be Mel Brooks.
Indeed.
Yes, it was.
Yep. Who was famous for going onto the radio and announcing jokes about Hitler in Europe.
Don't be a dummy, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
Don't forget the Hitler rap.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
Winter of Poland and France.
I can get to work on that show in a couple of weeks.
Welcome the guy we've been trying to get here since the beginning, Jason Patty.
Hi.
Drink your beer,
Hi.
sir.
Hi. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
Down,
We
boys.
can see
Down.
you now.
Down, boys. Bad monkey.
He has had
Bad
beer.
monkey.
Oh, by the way,
Confirmed Alan won.
I just want to let you guys know this lovely backdrop you're seeing right back here is the middle of nowhere country. It is dark, and I mean really dark out there. Don't go outside unless you have
According
guns
to us,
and a
live
flashlight.
from Night Vale is Jason Patty.
Oh, I'm done. No, man, let me tell you what, I'm not there in dang old Johnston County, man. I'll tell you about that dang old country dark, man, huh?
Wait a minute. You in Johnston County and they dark in Johnston County. It's plenty white out there.
Right, 10 shades of white, brother.
Alrighty, we got a lot. We got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Hailing the glow cloud, we'll handle that later. Let's get the movie thing out of the way. If you guys can give me a minute to do the releases, because God knows.
Okay.
Coming out in
And
theaters.
go.
This is sequel week 2014, as we have 22 Jump Street and How to Train Your Dragon 2 coming out. As for the DVDs releases, we have Non-Stop, the Liam Neeson actioner that nobody saw because you saw it a million times already when it was called other things, and the Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, which nobody saw because it starred Chris Pine.
Before Star Trek or after?
Considering that this would be a very recent release, I'm going to leave that up to you.
30 seconds, Evan. Better
Shoot,
get a
I
move
haven't
on.
even heard of it.
Now on to stories. Marvel has had a hell of a week.
Yes, they have. Holy crap.
They are easily the. Strangely enough, who knew? If you had told me just 5 years ago that the biggest name in Hollywood would be one of the biggest names in comics, wow. First of all, another thing we have to celebrate. Congratulations to them. This has never happened before. For the first time ever, the top 3 grossing films of the year all came from the same creative source. And they are Captain America Winter Soldier, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we haven't even gotten to Guardians of the Galaxy yet.
No, we have not. Or Avengers 2 doesn't come out till next year, but yeah, wow. So, yeah, if Google plans to take over the world, they may have to fight Marvel. In other news, going back to the Ant-Man controversy, after going through a fucking laundry list of directors that all turned it down, we finally have a director for Ant-Man. Adam McKay, who is famous for having directed Hello, Momo, who is famous for having directed the Anchorman movies.
I want to point something out. I saw a correction to that article.
Uh-oh.
He is not the director. He has been brought on to work on the script because that seems to be the reason everybody keeps leaving.
Ooh.
Yes, this is the first major hiccup in the pretty much, it looks from the looks of things, they have an overall plan, and they don't want anybody to have their weak little creative visions going over it, which is why we lost Edgar Wright as director in the first place, despite the fact that he had been firmly attached to the project since 2008.
I'm sorry, I just have to point out, this is freaking Ant-Man. It's not like it's Batman. It's not like it's Superman. It's not like it's even freaking Aquaman. It's Ant-Man.
Yes, it's Ant-Man, and it makes me worry that if they're fighting over, I'm not going to call him a second-string hero, because he's not second-string, but if they're going to be fighting over lesser-known properties like that, what does that bode for the more major properties that they're working on?
Well, you'll have to realize, in terms of marketability right now, comic book franchises are the big deal right now, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of fighting over them. I mean, not only from directors, but from studios, because, I mean, pretty much one really bad film is going to tank the whole property source. So they want it to be good. I mean, I hate to say we don't need another Daredevil.
Or
Ghost
Rider, Avengers,
No, Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider 2. I actually like the first Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider 2 sucked.
I despise the first Ghost Rider. I kind of like what I saw of Ghost Rider 2, because I was convinced it wasn't supposed to be a good film, especially considering the guys who handled it. And my only regret for that movie is that they didn't let those guys go all out, because then we would have had one of the greatest comic movies ever, and one of the most insane.
And I mean, that's one of the funny things. I mean, Ghost Rider is an easy character to work with. It pretty much writes itself, and yet you screw it up. I mean, first of all, you will Nick Cage. Come on. Come on.
Come on.
It was my
No offense to Nick Cage. I like Nick Cage as an actor. But, man, I wouldn't have done it if I was him.
I was just waiting for him to start screaming, "The bees! The bees!"
I don't know, though. My favorite bit for the second one was Nick Cage going all out as he just mugging it for the screen, and then the directors was one of the CG guys that went, work with that. And
I'm waiting for Nick Cage to really lose his mind for the...
Our final bit of news for Marvel Studios, is we have a director for Doctor Strange. Scott Derrickson, whose biggest work right now is Sinister, has been tapped to direct Doctor Strange. According to the rumor mill, the number one pick is recent Oscar winner Jared Leto to play the part. Assuming he'll be playing the part, not just already doing it on his own anyway. Because
that's honestly one that if you could get him to lose the accent, McConaughey would be good for it.
That wouldn't. No, hell no.
I don't need to see Doctor Strange's abs. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You got the eye of Agamotto? No? He'd be a lot cooler if you did.
The thing I like about high school witches is the older I get, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Great. I'm just surprised no one made a play doctor joke yet. No, I do not want Matthew McConaughey as Doctor Strange, even if he could lose the accent. God knows he can do the arrogant bit well enough, but no. That's honestly, I think, one of the hardest characters in the Marvel canon to cast right there.
Well, the sad part about it is you've already had the perfect actor for it, except he's dead.
The guy I thought you were going to say, except he's Iron Man.
I was going to say, Michael Clark Duncan is not alive anymore, John. Let him go.
Hey, quit reminding me. It was a sad
There you go, Evan. You finally get a black doctor.
I'm okay with that.
I might go out on a limb here. How about Viggo Mortensen?
Oh, yeah. I am very good with this, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
I don't want
yes.
it.
I don't care
If we're going to get Viggo in a Marvel property, I want him as a villain.
No, I'm good with Doctor Strange. I mean, Doctor Strange kind of is a villain. He is his own worst enemy. That's kind of the point of Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we really want to wreck it, let's go ahead and cast Norman Reedus.
That won't wreck it. That'll just bring all the girls to the yard, because our doc is better than theirs.
I'd say we go with the other Boondock Saint, because he'd fucking own that role.
Sean Patrick Flannery?
Yep.
Yeah, he was Powder.
Get your fucking eye of Agamotto right here, boyo!
You and your stupid fucking rope. Why do you need your rope when you've got your Eye of Akamoto?
All right, there, Rambo.
Yeah, and then get Norman Reedus to play Wong. Yes, it's whitewashing, but it's whitewashing that's worth it.
No, I'm sorry. If we're gonna anybody play Wong, it has to be Christopher Walken.
I almost thought you were going to go with the guy who played Chen in Hangover.
I mean, come on. He can play Fu Manchu. He can play Wong.
You want Eye of Agamotto? You don't get. But did you die?
High Class Geek News. We define cultural sensitivity.
You see, it's the wrong attitude. It's the wrong tone. You come at my doctor like that again, and I'm going to stab you in the face with the soldering iron.
Okay, moving on. Maybe you should play the old one.
Moving on.
Anyway, Drew Crivello, who for the last few years has been the senior executive for 20th Century Fox. He is known for being the guy who breathed new life into the X-Men franchise by giving us one of the good X-Men movies, X-Men First Class, has left for Warner Brothers. You know, those guys who own DC. To become the senior vice president of production. So I guess he decided he no longer wanted to make his Marvel.
Does this mean we're going to get a decent Superman film?
No.
Just have a graphic they can just flash dollar signs on the screen for everyone to see, because that's exactly what that is about. Oh my God, they must be paying him so much money. Much money.
Let's be honest, more than Sony and 20th Century Fox, Warner Brothers needs help with their comic book properties.
Oh, sweet Jesus. They have no idea what they're doing from asshole to elbow with their comic book properties. And I know that everybody is, excited about Batfleck and Batman v Superman, but until I see
I'm not excited.
I'm
not excited.
I'm just going to point out right now, he said this in an interview years ago. Mark Miller, the Scott who has won an Eisner Award, the comic book equivalent to an Academy Award or a Pulitzer, he's won an Eisner for writing the Superman Adventures comic. The comic tied into the cartoon that is not allowed to affect the continuity of the cartoon, meaning it's been double castrated. He got an Eisner for writing that comic, and he offered to do a Superman screenplay to Warner Brothers for free. I'm just saying.
Dang.
Oh, speaking of random franchises, I know Kevin Smith has finished with Tusk now. Has anybody heard anywhere it's playing?
No.
I didn't know he was done with Tusk.
I have not.
No.
No one else has heard about the superhero film Kevin Smith filmed in North Carolina called Tusk?
No.
I remember vaguely hearing about it, but Kevin Smith's been pretty quiet about his production stuff lately.
About a walrus superhero? Come on, guys. This is something we're all going to have to go see. It's Kevin Smith, and it's a walrus.
I was thinking
the comedy writes itself.
Michael Keaton. Yeah. Supposed to come out sometime this year. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
How many pages of
Moving on.
I just
Move along.
Okay.
Move along. No droids here.
As we know, Disney has gone on to a nice campaign to prove that there are still original ideas in Hollywood by taking all their old animated films and making live-action movies out of them. The newest one they plan to do is Beauty and the Beast, and they have tapped on Bill Condon, famous for directing Twilight Breaking Dawn, as the director.
Please no.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I just broke a fart. I think that has about the exact same intellectual continuity as what this guy is going to do. Forget about it.
Let us all have a moment of silence for Disney yet again raping our childhoods.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would pass some gas, but I'm afraid something would follow along with it.
There is no fart, only Zool.
So that's who's running Disney. Or at least the acting department.
Speaking of movies this week, something I think nobody mentioned this week. Guess whose 30th anniversary was this week?
Tetris.
No, we're not there yet.
Oh, sorry.
Wait until we're on the right category.
Nope. This is movie related.
Ghostbusters.
There you go.
Yes. Sorry. My
And
bad.
in honor of Ghostbusters, Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say
yes.
I'm sorry, it just kind of popped in my head. I was remembering summers out at Camp Wakanda, roasting marshmallows.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Stay Puft is never to be bad.
Tell them about the Twinkie.
That's a big Twinkie.
Well, John and I used to date a girl named Twinkie.
It's true. This man has no dick.
After Twinkie, I'm surprised either me or Jason has one left.
Oh, my sweet Jesus. Oh, I need to drink more beer.
Thank you,
Move on.
Jason. I've been having to deal with the used to be a man joke for a while now. I think
you
you
see,
brought it
Evan,
back. I think you've done
I wasn't even going to bring that up. It was really going to be nice this week. But whereas Chase and I may have dated Twinkie, at least she wasn't a man.
Oh no. Oh no, she wasn't. And if we weren't live over the internet right now, I could tell you stories.
I don't think she wants to stay in here.
Anywho. So, moving on. This is something else. Actually, I think this was announced last week, but I either forgot about it or just, I don't know. Anyway, one of the founders of Pirate Bay, Peter Sund, is currently in custody in Sweden. He is one out of the 4 founders of Pirate Bay. There's only one left at large. They apparently have had a warrant for his arrest since, like, 2008. So, yeah.
Interpol, y'all. Gets shit done. Where did they end up picking him up at? In Sweden or elsewhere in the EU?
I don't know. I read the story earlier today. I cannot remember.
I believe he was caught in Sweden, which... This is why you should have made a hop, skip, and a jump over to Switzerland and you'd been fine.
Was he caught in a Swede in Sweden? Or just in Sweden?
No, he was not caught in a makeshift homemade movie version of a popular film in Sweden.
I was going to say, I think if he'd been caught in a Swede, I think he'd be really pissed to be pulled off.
Okay.
You don't put us in my hotel room and fly me to New York in the middle of goddamn night.
And now for a quick rundown of just general announcements about movies. PwC, via Variety, has said that their studies, I don't know what PwC stands for, by the way, but their studies say that by 2016, streaming will be the dominant form of entertainment for movies and television and such over DVDs, that there will be a full shift by 2018, and a sharp fall in sales for physical medium by 2019. Jupiter Ascending by the Wachowski siblings, because it's just weird to call them brothers these days, has been bumped from February 6th to July 18th. We have seen photos of the Millennium Falcon being built in a studio for the new Star Wars movies, as well as
my heart so good.
Yes, as well as confirmed that recent Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o from 12 Years a Slave has been added to the cast as an unknown character, as well as from Game of Thrones, Gwendolyn Christie, who also is an unconfirmed character, but I'm pretty sure will be a Wookiee. And finally...
Peter Dinklage.
We'll get to him later. I am not kidding when I say we will get to him later.
Objection!
Okay, Phoenix Wright.
Moving on to television. It has been released. I have watched it and do not know anywhere near enough Japanese to understand it. The very first trailer for the Sailor Moon reboot, Sailor Moon Crystal. Not to be confused with Sailor Moon Crystal, which is the blaxploitation version.
I don't know how much money I would pay to see that. And it'd be even better. You know what? We basically already have that. It's the most recent Little John video.
Yeah, where her moon power is the booty
Turn
twerk.
down for what?
Wakari
Yeah,
Muska.
Oh, God.
Genki Janai.
That was one hell.
Yeah, that's what that's going to be. And tentacles are going to come out from all different directions, and it won't be fit for American television. That's about it.
Don't remind me. I remember being in a convention looking at the bootleg videos. I have seen the hentai, the cover for the hentai Sailor Moon. It was more. I can't remember if that was more or less disturbing than the live-action Sailor Moon movie cover. I just remember one of those two got my roommate and I to decide it was time to leave the booth. And maybe even the entire con.
I can't say anything. I sat in a room of about 60 people at AWA a few years ago, drinking a beer, watching a tentacle porn, and literally, mesmerized because I'm drinking this beer going, this is the worst one I've ever seen. I can't look away.
And I've seen a lot of tentacle porn, believe me.
God. I love being a grown-up.
Moving on. Footage has been released. Located in a famous television actor's past. Maybe he's embarrassed by it, maybe not. All we know is that he wasn't the one who brought it out, but it has been found, and it has been released. Once again, from his dark past way back in the day, we have seen Peter Dinklage's yearbook photo from high school.
Oh, God, the mullet.
Peter's mullet.
Mullet.
Peter's mullet. Peter's mullet. Peter's mullet.
Oh, the mullet.
Peter's mullet. Peter's mullet. He's rocking.
It looks like a tribble from Star Trek sat on his head.
Is there nothing Peter Dinklage cannot rock?
Yes, that mullet.
Yes, the mullet.
I don't know. Actually, think about it.
He's no Warwick Davies.
In this yearbook photo, he actually kind of looked like a younger, very much shorter Mick Jagger. Everybody was doing a lot of drugs like back then. I'm just saying.
Ewok. No, yes. Not even. No, he looked like a shaved Ewok. Not happening.
There's a difference.
Not everybody can pull the mullet off like Warwick Davies used to do.
Willow.
I mean, yeah, his mullet in Willow was epic, and he could pull that off.
Kitty, kitty.
Yeah, they didn't even have to shave him down for Jedi.
I side with either of you guys right now. Peter Dinklage is one of my all-time favorite actors, and I honestly felt that way before Game of Thrones. But Warwick Davis was in the last series of Doctor Who. God damn it!
I'm sorry.
Battles in history. Peter Dinklage versus Warwick Davis.
Oh God, they have to do that. Somebody make a suggestion to ERB and say you have to do Warwick Davies versus.
Fuck
Peter,
that.
Or even better, just do Willow Upgood versus Tyrion.
No. Someone make a suggestion to Peter Dinklage and Warwick Davis and hope they actually go looking for great rap battles of history just so they can do it.
Tyrion Lannister.
Moving on. Oh, God. Moving on, also in television, Sleepy Hollow has apparently decided it's too big for TV and is moving on into books. Later on this year, September, if I remember correctly, but don't quote me on that, we will be getting The Secret Journal of Ichabod Crane and Sleepy Hollow, Children of the Revolution.
Now, let me go ahead and state this right now. I have a friend of mine who works on that show as a prop builder, so I really hope that show has a good long run so she can remain employed and make random horror-related stuff for TV, and maybe get me a job. So,
And as
Melissa,
a fan
if
of
you
that
ever watch
show,
this, which you won't, please get me a job.
and as a fan of
I
that
wanna
show,
come
I
build
hope it has a
Voodoo
good long run too.
Well, not only that, but the circle is now complete. Everything is going from television back to books.
It makes the book lover in me extremely happy.
But it makes the kid in me really happy.
It makes my 2-degree separation from that show hopeful that maybe I'll get a job as a writer. But that's just I have other.
It touches me in my no-no spot. It makes me want an adult.
It touches me in my bathing suit area. Anyway, and for the final bit of announcement, it is official. It's been put on Netflix. The second season of Orange is the New Black, or as I like to call it, admit it, you've been wanting to see Donna naked ever since the very first episode of that 70s show.
I will admit that's the only reason I started watching it.
Kitty.
Absolutely. I need to see this right now.
The funny thing about it is I really think it's an entire audience made up of people going, I want to see tons of naked chicks and lesbian scenes, and then getting surprised that they found a genuinely good show.
Well, I think it also started with the fact that people wanted those things but didn't want to pay Showtime prices or Cinemax prices.
I'd say
And wanted
prices is more
No,
it.
it's like they took 80s B-grade prison porn that had Brigitte Nielsen, and they gave it a decent plot. And what did you get? Orange is the New Black.
Well,
God,
it
I
is
hope they-
based off of a woman's memoirs, so...
They really need to bring Brigitte Nielsen onto that show. That will make like my ultimate 80s, 90s, and early 2000s fantasies come true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need her on that show. Have you seen what she looks like these days?
I don't care. She can be Kate Mulgrew's girlfriend. That works for
How
me.
do you think you would look if you fucked Flavor Flav?
Problem is she
That's
looked
right.
like that before she fucked Flavor Flav.
Well, I'm sorry. Stallone left his career in there. The only reason Flavor fit.
It looks like we might need to call Eric to plug that hole.
No, from what I heard about Stallone's Playgirl photo spread, yeah, that's pretty much the only way you can fill up space in there. Anyway,
Quick, John, call Eric.
and I will never get a job in Hollywood. Now, on to video games.
Hooray!
There is only one release this week. I am shocked. Strangely enough. Normally I get a good half dozen for maybe one. Enemy Front for Windows, the PS3, and the Xbox 360. Which I'm pretty sure means it's already irrelevant before even having been released.
Well, Firefly Online actually released some new footage this week, which is freaking awesome. As much as I am not about MMORPGs, it's Firefly, and chances are I'm going to get an account.
Shiny.
Just because.
Hey,
And
Mike.
yes,
Let me know when there's a Saga RPG.
Rabbit?
I have one question to that. Does anyone know if you get to fly the ship through space?
Yes,
Or
you
is
do.
You do?
Yes, you do.
In the
There are
ship
multiple.
and everything.
There are multiple classes of ship you can choose. As much. It's reminding me a lot of the Star Citizen you were telling me about, where you can pick different types of ships. You can get a Firefly. You can get other types of ships. But yes, you do fly through space. There is navigation, and there are going to be, I believe, space battles.
But the main difference between this and every other game is that it will be the first game in history where everybody simultaneously stopped cussing and insulting each other just to constantly write over and over again, I am a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
No,
There's no place I can be since I found serenity.
people
You
will not
can
stop
take
cursing, but they're going to
God.
learn Chinese so they can.
Wow.
Wow, actually adopting a little culture in their lives. Shock and awe.
Moving on to actual stories. This week marks the 30th anniversary of Tetris. We have so many memories of their childhood.
And the creator has said that he still plays the game every week.
My favorite Tetris fact is when, for another anniversary, I want to say the 20th, they had actually rigged up the lighting system to a skyscraper and attached it to controllers so they could literally have stories tall game
Yep.
of Tetris. It was amazing. It was awesome. It made me hate the fact that I was not in Japan at the time.
I'm just
I
waiting
don't
for that to
care.
go on tour.
I don't care if I would have to wait in that line for a week. That would have been worth it just to play for 10 fucking seconds.
Kitty.
Yeah, but have we cured cancer yet? No.
No.
We can play Tetris
We
on
have
a building.
more important things, damn it! Like using a skyscraper to play Tetris and the fucking robot that they claim is a statue of the Gundam.
I'm
That
still waiting for
statue
that
is
thing
a
to move.
Gundam.
That thing is gonna move.
It is. It is a real Gundam. When those monsters come out of the ocean, fuck the Jaegers. Gundams are gonna take this shit to a whole nother level.
Oh god, that makes sense now. Okay, now Japan built the Gundam first, all right? Because they knew the Fukushima accident was going to happen. Therefore, they knew all that nuclear radiation was going to make a kaiju. So they knew that Gundam had to work. That's why they put it out there so no one sees it coming.
That's right. It is going to be so freaking awesome.
Speaking of which, I posted another link to the source that Guillermo del Toro is writing the script for.
Let's stop.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We'll get to that later. I have actually added a new segment for the shit that just gets put up at the last minute. Because you aren't the only one to give me shit at the last minute. But we'll get to that later. One bit
I like to think we give you a constant stream of shit, Evan.
We're pretty regular.
Welcome to Shiza Week. Anyway. But speaking of shit you have given me, David, you have given me a lot of shit about Borderlands.
Yes.
One thing. Wow, did you report a lot of... Whew, once again, David does not sleep.
I am fueled by beer, hate, rage, and geekiness.
So you're the internet. Got it. Now...
Put your caps lock button on and fly, my pretties, fly!
Oh, God, I forgot to bring that up. Thanks for reminding me. Remind me again in breaking news later. Anyway... So yeah, there's a pre-sequel to Borderlands coming out called Tales from the Borderlands, being done by Telltale Games, the guys who have famously given us the Walking Dead game, you know, the one that matters, the one we care about, the one that's good. Much like that, and the Wolf Among Us game, it is one where your actions will have an actual effect on the game, except in this case, it's not necessarily going to be a moral thing, they say. Comedy, storyline, all that fun stuff. We have a release date. October 14th. There's a trailer out where we have the cast dancing, and among that cast are Nolan North, who, if you don't know who that is, really, why do you give a shit about video games? Patrick Warburton, who just has an awesome voice, and recently added Chris Hardwick as a geeky tech geek nerd.
Nice.
Who you may know
the Nerdist.
Yeah, the Nerdist, yes, thank you.
I'm experiencing joy puke right now.
Dude, he became personal friends with friggin' Matt Smith while he was the Doctor in Doctor Who. That's more geek cred than we'll ever have.
He was brought onto the first episode of the Will Wheaton Project as a joke.
Look, I've got geek cred for days. Cred for days!
Oh, what a days. Let's move on to comics. And I'm not doing the story right away, but I am going to point this out now. I am uber excited. I can't wait to see the story. The story is awesome. This is epic. David, I fucking love you for finding this. Really, I do. I owe you a beer, sir. I owe you a beer. But first, our suggestions for the week. Let's see. The Sixth Gun, number 41, will be coming out. The dark fantasy western that I highly recommend to everybody. Hell, Geek Guide to the Galaxy recommended it recently. It's that good. Amazing Spider-Man number 1.2, continuing a storyline that takes place in Peter Parker's past. She-Hulk number 5, the best legal comedy out there. Yes, you heard the phrase correctly. All New Invaders number 6, which is a direct tie-in to the big epic Marvel series Original Sin, which you need to be reading. Things are happening in that book. They are going down. They are awesome. This is a story so big, Thor freaked out. Twice. Yeah.
And once this morning.
What, you made a parody of Night Court with She-Hulk?
Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, number 2 of 4, because we're just happy that there's a Shang-Chi book. We always are. The United States of Murder, Inc., number 2, the ongoing series about an alternate version of the U.S. that's owned by the mob, done by Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Wyoming, who gave us the fantastic Powers. Astro City number 13, because if you don't know what Astro City is, curiously why you're into comics. The Twilight Zone annual number 2014, annual for 2014, and Starlight number 4 by the already mentioned earlier Mark Miller. Now for the big news. Sorry. How to begin this? I often say that my comic book collection is so grand that it is completely impossible for nobody to find something of interest. My way of backing this up is that I have 2 massive complete series hardcovers in that collection. One is called The Complete Far Side. The other, The Complete Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Which is why I say, if you don't know who Bill Watterson is, get the fuck out. The creator of Calvin and Hobbes has made a return, however briefly, though very secretly, to the comic strip.
Yay!
Via the current comic strip, one of the few good ones, Pearls Before Swine.
Yep.
Where he basically played with the running gag about how he's the better artist.
Sorry,
by
told me to get the fuck out.
basically doing better art on Pearls Before Swine for about 2 strips. Playing a female character named, I want to say Big? Something that ends with IG.
Lib. No, it was Lib.
Lib.
It was going backwards.
It's
Yes.
Lib.
Lib.
And wow, I just saw one of the strips. It did. It's awesome. That was just him saying, it's the Pearls Before Swine guy asking for him to be drawn in the strip a certain way, and Liv goes, "You want me to draw you as a barrel-chested hot guy who's surrounded by scantily-clad women?" And the next panel is him as a barrel-chested hot guy who's really good-looking with lots of scantily-clad women in bikinis, talking about how much they love him. And the final panel is back to Pearls Before Swine art with the artist going, "Please draw my comic forever," and Liv going, "It's a dying medium."
The running gag on that one is the fact this character got brought in as like an 8-year-old girl who was giving him crap about his comic, saying, "I can do it better." And he gives her a panel to draw, and she draws it. Of course, it's Watterson drawing it, and he's just like, "It's not bad." And she goes, "Beginner's luck."
That is great.
Mr. Watterson, we miss you.
We miss you so much.
Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the artist who does Pants Are Overrated, who actually made a continuation of Calvin and Hobbes called Bacon and Hobbes, where it was the continued story, but of Calvin's daughter.
I must correct you. It's Hobbes and Bacon.
That's right. It is Hobbes and Bacon. You're correct, but it's the continued story, which is it's funny because he actually did a really good job of showing the characters of Calvin and Susie grown up and married, and then their daughter.
Sorry, go ahead.
It was just absolutely a brilliant comic. If you've not look it up. Look up Bacon and Hobbes or Hobbes and Bacon. It'll come up either way on the internet. And read a couple of strips. It's a great homage, and I really wish he got the nod from Watterson to complete it because, I mean, that's just it really is. He gets the concept.
Yeah, there's only 4 or 5 of them, but that's 4 or 5 strips of brilliance, and I like how apparently at some point when they got older, little Susie developed Hobbes' sense of humor. Hobbes, sorry, Calvin's. It's just, I'm still gushing. It's like I'm a kid again. For anybody who wants to see more new Bill Watterson art, he has also provided the movie poster for the documentary Stripped, all about how newspaper strips are now a dying medium. Let's take a moment to look back at the fact that in his early career, before he got famous doing things like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, Stan Lee was often ostracized in society in his more social life because it was considered lowbrow to do a comic book, but you were the shit if you were doing a newspaper strip.
I've often thought of Stan Lee as being like the Hugh Hefner of the comic industry. That man is probably knee-deep in sweet, sweet women, even as we speak.
Nope. He's been successfully and faithfully married to one woman who, without being famous or
That
rich,
we know of.
No, without being famous or rich, back when he was just doing little things, he nabbed her, got her to come to America, and has been married to her and had babies with her ever since. And she was a pretty successful and somewhat famous at the time model actress in Europe.
Actually,
he won.
This reminds me of something Stan Lee said in an interview recently. Somebody was asking him about comics, physical comics being a dying media and streaming, and web-based comics being the new frontier. And he actually said this in an interview. Well, boobs are nice on a screen, but I really prefer one in my hand.
Words from the master.
Oh, one more thing about his wife. She was actually engaged to another man at the time when they met.
Okay, he's totally the Hugh Hefner of comic books now. Because only a guy as smooth as that could manage to take a hot European model, steal her away from her fiancé, spirit her back to America, into comic book land nerdia.
You realize what this just proves. Tony Stark is based on Stan Lee.
Dude.
And I completely see Tony Stark as an old man being like Stan Lee, with the bushy eyebrows and the Coke bottle glasses, still making innocuous comments, but innocuous enough that he can get away with them.
I just now want to see an episode of Mad Men where that guest star Stan Lee, and he's just there long enough to go up to Don Draper with a glass in his hand and say, "You're an amateur."
I'm pretty sure they can work that out. I am pretty sure they can actually work something like that out, and it would actually help to tie in the geek audience to the Mad Men series. What are you kidding me? An opportunity to see our Lord and God Stan in Mad Men?
Point of order.
Point of order.
The geek audience is already tied in because it's the only chance we get to see Christina Hendricks on a regular basis, and in low-cut copies. And yes, please.
Oh,
no
Jimmy.
me daddy button. No.
All I'm going to say is that there was an episode in the first season where she had to bend over during the test screening, and every man stood up and salute. I was one of them.
I did too, but I wasn't standing.
I want that episode to happen just because I know there'll be like an ad in every like magazine, even though he'll only be on there for 10 seconds. I just want to see the 60s style ad poster of Stan Lee for his Mad Men episode.
Yes. We need to start a petition. Dude, we need to, what is it called? Startup? I mean, shit, if LeVar Burton can do it with Reading Rainbow, we can get this kick started. Come on, nerds! Unite!
Anyway, moving on to our next topic. Wow, we're getting through these pretty quickly, actually. David, you might get to sleep well, no, you'll be researching more, but we can pretend you might get to sleep tonight.
Researching/writing. So
David is having joy puke, I know you are.
Sorry, that was a hairball.
Enhance your calm. Enhance your calm.
I don't want to enhance my fucking calm.
That's what happens.
What is that?
Pussy
Is that from Demolition Man?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I don't want to enhance my fucking calm. You've just violated the morality statute.
John Spot, you will find 1 credit for violating of the verbal morality code. John Spot, 1 credit.
That reminds me, there's been a recent installation, and can anyone please explain to me how to use those three fucking seashells?
There's a YouTube video on that, actually.
Why does everybody keep doing that? Just explain it to me. My ass is crusty. I'm not sure if any more can come out.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Moving
okay,
on.
Hannibal.
Oh God, Hannibal. I'm sorry. You made me think about the show Hannibal, and that has been fucking with my head lately. Anyway, moving on to science.
Science!
Weird science.
First of all, as I mentioned, the little bit that has apparently disturbed everyone on the message board when I put it up. Scientists had a bit of a complication with their experiment, where they were keeping track of a 9-foot female great white shark off the coast of Australia, only to have the tag wash up on the beach about 8 or 9 days later without the shark.
Yeah.
They did know the shark got taken off path for a long period of time, and that there was an increase in temperature around the shark when it happened. It's odd because there aren't very many heat pockets in that part of the ocean. But, yes, basically the conclusion they came to was that heat pocket was essentially the digestive system of something that decided it wanted to eat the shark. Something is eating great white sharks.
9-foot great white sharks.
Yes.
Damn.
We need a bigger boat for our bigger boat. Fortunately, though, there has been a follow-up to that. I'm not sure if I put it up or if I surprise you. We know what ate the shark.
No,
it was an
dude, tell me,
even
what
bigger
is the
fucking
shark?
shark.
Yes, it was. A 12-foot shark, also known as the cannibal great white shark. This is an entirely different species of great white shark that likes to eat other great white sharks.
So what, it dined on its liver with some fava beans and a nice
Nice
Chianti? I mean,
Yes, it
sweet
just-
Lord.
Swam up. It just... By the way, John, you're on mute if you don't know already. But it just swam up next to the 9-foot female shark and said, "Hello, Clarice."
Oh my God.
I know I'm on mute.
So tell me, Clarice, do the lambs still scream?
See, I like to think it was the shark from Jaws Fire Island. I'm gonna eat them legs of yours. I shouldn't, but I've been swimming a lot lately.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Clarice. I'm afraid I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Jason, you actually do that very well. That's kind of disturbing.
You have no idea, David.
I have a friend who talks to me about eating people, and I tried it one time.
Been hanging out with Nick again?
Man, when you say it like that, dude, you sound like the little kid from Animaniacs. Okay, there's one time. There's one time.
Okay, this
I
one
had a
time,
friend
Randy
who kept talking about eating other people, and then he like had us over for dinner, and we had this really nice rump roast, and I ate the rump roast, and the rump roast was really good. It was the best rump roast I ever had. He told me the rump roast was people.
And then Dr. Frankenfurter whipped the sheet off the table, and there was meatloaf.
And it was dry.
Well, I mean, you saw his performance in Fight Club. What do you expect?
We are horrible people. By the way,
Moving on.
which going back to what I mentioned earlier, John, have you found any virgins yet? Or are they hiding them well?
Again, not really a challenge with us, so they're all out in the open. There's one, there's one, there's one.
John,
They're all over the place.
John, do I need to call Josh? I can call Josh.
No, we don't want to subject anyone to that.
I don't know. I laid out my virgin traps right outside. It's very simple. You create this web-like net and put a Twilight book in the middle. It's only a matter of time.
Evan, that's not a virgin trap. And honestly, I've seen your virgin traps. You know, laying out the Spider-Man omnibus is going to attract the wrong kind of person.
No,
Just
see what you.
tag them and release them.
See,
I don't know.
it's a web with a roll of $20
Well,
bills.
I
that's
have
probably
to
not
admit
even right.
that, you're right. I did have a web with the Spider-Man omnibus, but no, it didn't get any virgins at all. It did catch Gail Simone for a little bit, which was a little odd. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
We have a planet. This planet apparently was discovered a while ago, but now we have actually been able to figure out the weight of this planet, and it bothers us because now it's a scientific anomaly. Kepler 10c, which is 2.3 times bigger than Earth, if I remember correctly, about 45 light years away, give or take, or is it 450? Something like that.
450.
Yeah. Despite being, it's 17 times heavier than the Earth.
Sweet Lord.
By all logic, this means it should be a gas cloud, similar to Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's rock. It's a hard, rocky planet. It's so hard rock, it might be Christopher Lee's testicle. That's how hard the rock is. If you
So
go
I
on-
mean, is this planet Vegeta? Because if there were people there and they came here, they'd probably be like superhumans compared to us.
That's Kepler 10c is the name.
They've been training at, 20, 30 times normal Earth gravity? Yeah, we're boned.
In the hyperbolic time chamber to even that
Now,
too.
everybody remember,
Look,
the tail. If you remove the tail, we'll be all right.
John, you know I'm all about
Really?
the tail.
You're married, not anymore. Pass the torch, remember?
okay, I mean seriously, guys, how you guys did not see it running up the steps in Philadelphia, I have no idea. But you know, we'll go high enough.
I need more beer for this. God.
And sadly, I'm down to my last dregs.
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
Beer that I have right now at the moment.
Jeffrey,
Mumbo.
no! Oh
Breaking
no!
news. I have breaking news.
Breaking
Mumbo
news.
has claimed the PS4.
Oh no!
Oh.
That shit is not going down. No, sir.
She has claimed the PS4. She's giving me a strange look. I don't know what the look means. It's either I'm tired or I'm hungry.
Oh, you need to rectify some shit with your bottom bitch right now. Right now.
You got to be in tune with your star player.
Respect.
Poor little Tink Tink.
God. Oh, God. If you guys keep adding side messages, I'm going to start reading them aloud. Oh, God, I should not have said that.
You know what? I'll say it. John, smack that flute playing hippie with your damn hat.
Anywho, moving on. As we are wont to do on this show, we've already done it at least a couple of times. We love to tell you what's going on in the fight on the ongoing war against cancer. No, not my sibling. She was just born in that sign. There's no helping that. And we love the little fireball. And I do mean little, she's like really short. Anyway! But no, the actual sickness, the illness, cancer. I had my own fight with it. It forced me to keep my head shaved for 6 fucking months straight. God, that was annoying. No, David, you don't have cancer, but continue rubbing your head for luck.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Evan. Come to the bald side. We have creams, and we have moisturizers, and
We can
we
wax.
have sharp razors.
First of all, your masturbation techniques are strange and alien. Second of all,
They do involve tentacles, so
second of all, this week's episode brought to you by Beer and Tentacles, which sounds like the awesome comedy movie we really need to make for the site. But anyway,
starring
No,
Broken
what it's
Lizard.
about,
Yeah, I was going to say, Broken Lizard can do it better than we could.
I don't know what it's
Starring
about.
Broken
but
Lizard.
damn it, something
Beer
used to
and
be
Tentacles.
called Beer and Tentacles.
Beer Fest 2, Beer and Tentacles, the Japanese
there you go.
adventure.
No. That's, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a camera. I'm going to take as much footage of next year's Animazement as I can. That will be the name of our documentary. Beer and Tentacles.
John, you have to call Eric now.
I don't have to call Eric. He's on the board. He helps arrange the damn thing.
Just tap on Eric's cock. We know it went all the way out to Iowa. It's big enough. You're
It's
probably
really
sitting
good.
on it right
Would you
now.
like to use a lifeline, John?
No, I think I'll do 50-50.
Would you do a mobile shout-out or a street shout-out, John?
Well, anyway. But the two things. First of all, no, I will not shave my head. My hair is a defiance. I've had chemo, I have had radiation, and I've got male pattern baldness genetically on both sides of my family. I am 32 years old. This is what I have. I am basically giving a finger to God.
So
Fuck
this
you.
is where you as
Don't say fuck me, John. I'm doing
No,
it
see-
for everyone who has lost their hair too soon.
now see this is where
Talk to
see
you
and,
needs to
and you're
know.
fighting
Some
you're
of us
fighting
will
for
stand up to it.
you're fighting for me too because I started losing my hair at 15.
Motherfucker.
I was 17 with a comb over. So yeah, this yes,
sorry,
I proudly embrace this. I am like Tywin Lannister. I don't have the sideburns, but I have the lovely, luscious
You also
beard.
don't have the script writer, sadly.
The what?
I spend many hours a day wishing I had the Game of Thrones script writers writing all my dialogue. But anyway, going back to
Yeah,
what
that
the
too.
story, the reason for the whole cancer thing is we have a new way of fighting cancer called quadruputics, which is so full of science and technical terms. I nearly had a fucking headache trying to read the damn article. And I'm somebody who had a very good reason to look up stuff on cancer beforehand, so I should understand more of it, but I don't. It is basically a way of destroying cancer cells from the inside using what they refer to as nanobubbles. To put it in its simplest terms, this is like taking surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy and basically putting it inside the cancer cells to be activated and used as needed. That is about as simple as I can put it, and just thinking about that should probably make your head explode a little bit.
Yeah, it's like sending goblin sabers on a mission under an enemy wall and then saying blow yourselves up. Because then they literally explode the cell. It's frickin' awesome!
Did you just say goblin sappers?
Yes.
See,
What he's for people who are just not quite that deep, what he's basically saying is cancer treatment by Michael Bay.
Explosion!
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
And much like a Michael Bay action flick, as I've already pointed out, I don't understand what's going on, but it works.
It's literally like exploding the cancer cells in your body. This is a new forefront of nanotechnology that, like you said, is combining radiation and nanotechnology. And as this treatment progresses, they're going to be able to target it even better to where they may be able to just be like, oh, you've got cancer, come in for a shot. Yeah, let's go ahead and program the shot. Oh, look, you're better now.
Yes, this
I'm
is
going to
based
take my
on...
NyQuil, AIDS, herpes, and flu.
You'll never get rid of the common cold, ever.
But the uncommon cold. No.
Yeah, the uncommon cold. We'll get that shit. Yeah.
If anybody is wondering why it's called quadruputics, it's because it is a combination of 4 different already medically approved cancer treatments all combined into... It's a cancer treatment megazord. It is the Cancer Voltron.
It is the Captain Planet of cancer treatments. By
Somebody
your
play the
powers
Dragon
combined,
Fine, I stop cancer.
well, I was gonna say go cancer treater.
What?
And with that silliness, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. Finally, our last bit. This is kind of, sort of a big deal. It's one of those things, to people who know science, it's a big deal. To people who know science, they're like, so what? We have successfully teleported a single atom.
Yes! Yes, we have!
Yes, we have taken a single atom and made it disappear from one point and made that exact same atom reappear in another. And right now, it's basically being used as an idea of a faster way to transfer information. This basically could be what the internet's going to be doing in the future, since it is more literally a combination of tubes than most people think it is right now. But yes, we're still a long way from actually teleporting people, and I'm not entirely sure if we ever work that out if I want to be teleported, because there's a good chance that basically means you're just being killed and then cloned later. But yeah,
Respawn!
Oh god. This just as anybody who has watched a certain episode of Star Trek already knows, involving the second Riker.
Yes.
This actually also reminds me, I don't know, did we cover this last week about the first human tests approved for suspended animation?
Ooh.
I'm not sure. I don't think we did. But
Yeah, no,
I remember
don't think we did either, but yeah, it applies to as well. First human test for suspended animation coming up. Going on, I think it's in Sweden or Norway.
they finally work out
Fuck
the
yeah.
crystallization problem with the blood.
I think so.
Awesome.
Well, the difficulty that they're going to have is, I mean, they were able to, transport one atom, right? Now, think about the complexity inherent in all of the atoms that make us up.
Well, we already know that based on what we know of energy transfer and all that so far, basically you would need the energy output of multiple galaxies to be able to successfully transport a single human being. And when I say multiple, I don't mean one or two. I mean literally you need a gaggle of stars.
I'll get
It's
my
not
penis
entirely
out.
the case, because they did rework what they initially said was all the stars in the known universe to be able to force basically faster than light travel. They figured out it would take about the same amount of energy space-wise if it was pure energy of a suburban. Of pure energy. So it's probably not that much to do a full human. But are you really you when you get there, or are you a copy of you when you get there?
That makes me think of the fast travel station from Borderlands.
Yes, it does. Respawn!
Living up to my threat, Jason says there will be flute murder. John Little has responded, not as funny or colorful as clown murder. David has pointed out poor Pennywise. John said, plus the BO is rampant. Also, David says, no crystals, question mark. Finally, to stick to my report, to the... Oh, my afro is... I'm sorry, I have to say this as brave and bold Aquaman. My afro is outrageous! John says, no, but quite a few white people with dreads. Jason says, I want my epic loot, damn it. To the flute-playing hippie. Go the fuck away. Leave our John alone. David says, use a claymore. John says, puned.
Owned.
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 I only ever saw it in writing.
We'll have to tell the tape what else we got, guys.
Boy. David, or whoever is typing, if you keep this up, we will never get through the rest of the show.
It's not me.
Please.
I know that.
I win!
Anyway.
Sorry, anybody who's ever had to deal with indie IT knows that phrase.
Oh, God.
Moving on.
I'm done.
Excuse me,
You are
Mr.
one
John.
minute
Why
delayed.
are you telling me to do the needful? I do not know what this needful is, sir. You know damn right.
Oh, we're going to hell.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
That's why we're looking for virgins to sacrifice. Now, once again, moving on to...
Virgins for days!
So far, I have seen no tugging on the rope. Anyway, back to our one miscellaneous item. Brad Paisley taunted the Westboro Baptist Church people that were outside of his concert about a week ago, the country music star, of course, by taking a selfie with them. You may say, why is this geek related? Because it's the Westboro Baptist Church. Anything that picks on them, insults them, or puts them into a negative light is just everybody's business, and I'm always more than happy to bring it up.
And we're proud to bring in the country folk.
Oh my God!
Because
I am
Lord
so
knows it
happy
didn't work out well
for
for the
that.
Dixie Chicks.
I am very happy for that. That makes me tingly in the bathing suit area. Because anything that insults them makes me tingly in the bathing suit area. If I could illustrate on the screen what I would do with my bathing suit area, I would. But this is a PG-13 show.
Oh, we've gone beyond PG-13.
I think we're about as PG-13 as Real Time with Bill Maher.
Oh my.
Oh my.
I mean, cursing on this show is like sex with Kobe Bryant. You can kick and scream all you want, but it's going to happen.
Do I get to pee on her later?
No, that's R.
No,
Kelly.
R.
Different,
Kelly.
different one, though. About as frequent.
Gonna get some
Haters
poo.
gonna
I'm gonna make some pee.
Lovers gonna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you. Yes, I do. I'll piss on you. I'll pee on you. Drip, drip, drip.
You are getting the thumbs up, sir. Well done. Well done.
And now for our final segment, invented because, once again, David does not sleep. David does not rest. He will not give up. He will not turn down. He will absolutely will not stop until he has reported news. So breaking news, as I stopped him from mentioning earlier. Actually, David, since you put it up, go ahead. Tell us this, the Guillermo del Toro thing. I'm going to let you. You tell it. You tell us.
Guillermo del Toro is writing a script for Pacific Rim 2.
Yes! Yes! Like a boss!
Rabbit consciousness. The geekgasm was that big. Rabbit, are you okay? Is there any? Do you need fluids?
I didn't like the movie. I said it.
Oh.
You will be visited by a Jaeger.
You didn't like the movie? You didn't like the movie? You like fire, boy? We got fire.
Burdenating the asshole.
Later. Rabbit, later you'll be visited at your home by a Jaeger. The Jaeger will announce its arrival by crushing you under its massive, massive foot.
Will it twist its foot after it crushes me as a sign of just complete hatred for me?
That will show a sign
Total
of
disdain. Total disdain.
No,
Fortunately,
you have to understand. He's not going to be visited by a Jaeger. First of all, he's going to be visited by the Gundam of Robots Past. Then the Transformer of Robots Present, and then the Jaeger of Robots Future. And that will give him all the opportunity to mend his wicked ways.
And you know what? If he chooses not to, we got the big O of fuck it all.
There's my big O.
I will, as a last sign of defiance, just do this and say, bring it.
For those who are not quite geeky enough, the Big O is a really awesome anime series from the early aughts, which was basically what happens when you mix Batman with a giant robot, and not our cute nickname for Pacific Rim, because that's how it makes us feel. With the exception of Rabbit.
John, are they listening to, like, some Indian tribal music where you are, or what is going on?
Stupid hippie.
Dirty hippies.
But don't worry, Rabbit. You will know when you are being visited when you suddenly find over your bed the specter of a chained-up Gigantor warning you that you will be visited. They may be clanking because those ghosts, they don't generally let you sleep.
Voltron's gonna make you his bitch. Voltron's gonna make you his bitch. Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
I did not say a bad thing about Voltron.
John reports, no, they are white people playing it. White people with dreads, this is all in caps, by the way, playing Native American music, WTF, with many question marks alternated with exclamation points.
John, you should have used an interrobang there.
The fuck?
I am just going to keep the chat window open, as I'm pretty sure this is the only way John can communicate. David responded, damn, DFSR, and Chasen says, isn't marijuana illegal in Iowa? Is it, dear listeners?
Okay, what's this?
Rabbit
do you have
has
anything else? Because I'm going to have to hop off here.
Well, fortunately, we're towards the end of our show. We have one story left. Assuming Cthulhu does not get called to John's because white people don't know what those words mean. Now, this was not on the thread. We have my roommate Jacob. Several of you met Jacob, wonderful dude. And he sent me this via text message with the link. I looked it up. This is kind of awesome and may induce paranoia. Oh, so before we get into that, John says, I wonder if the Waspafaria NS can still... Waspafarians. I like that term, John. Very good. I wonder if the Waspafarians can still play the didgeridoo when it's jammed up his ass.
John, I will come to the bar and rescue you. Just wait, my son. Just wait.
But going on to the story. Probably sounds very similar. David says, wow. Final story for the evening. A supercomputer known as Eugene Goostman has done something that we always figured a computer would one day do. It has passed the Turing test.
Have they confirmed this via multiple tests ran from different people?
Yes, they have. In addition, the computer has been nicknamed Skynet.
You're fucking kidding me.
Nope.
Okay, so what is the Turing test?
Okay, game over, man.
The Turing
game
test.
over.
The Turing test is developed by a man way back in, I think, the 50s. His last
Alan
name is
Turing.
I can't remember his first. Thank you. It basically says that at one point we should be able to make a computer that can actually fool people into believing in a text-based conversation that it is a human being itself. That it needs to fool at least 30% of test subjects to pull this off.
No, more than
And
30.
once it does that, the computer is officially thinking for itself.
It
it
has
is-
become a sentient life form.
Yes, Eugene Gustman has fooled 33%.
Jesus.
No, it's not Jesus. Let's not go that far. It's just a computer.
No, the man that created it is Jesus.
No,
better than
I
Ken
think
Jennings.
that, what's happening here is humanity is just getting dumber because we're actually believing things like that. But, either computers are getting smarter or we're getting dumber, which in either case is kind of sad for us, simply in the fact that our new techno overlords will probably be upon us within the next 20 years, and we will all either be dead or their slaves.
I, for one,
Actually-
welcome our new robot computer overlords.
Jason,
You would, Rabbit, you would.
you're half right. Yes, the computers are getting smarter, but also people are getting smarter. What most people do not understand is that because we are becoming smarter and more aware of gaining more information, we are realizing how horrible the rest of our species is. And thus, it's not too hard to believe these things. As Rule 34 alone told us the depths we can go to. We have learned more about ourselves, things we never ever wanted to know.
No, it's true, for when man creates something in his image and endows it with the very spirit that he carries, does he not see it reflected back at him and realize just how fucking stupid he really is?
This is making me think about the episode of the guy who was making a mural of an eye looking at God in Hannibal and bringing whole new meaning to it. For starters, the serial killer that was doing that now seems more sane.
Yep.
I got nothing.
It stopped. Shh. Where's that didgeridoo?
Tipped him off.
Oh my God! He farted and it smells like asparagus and broccoli. Why don't I eat meat? Oh God!
Well, that all three of you guys just sounded like a really bad session of cunnilingus. I'm just come on, man.
Oh,
What do you mean you're not done yet? Oh, okay.
I love
This
you.
has been yet another edition of High Class Geek News. This was
Tune in
brought
next
to you
week.
by Beer and Tentacles.
Woohoo.
Tune in next week, same
And
geek time,
the
same geek
ghost-
channel.
The ghost of Gigantor, who will be visiting while covered in chains for dramatic effect, Rabbit in his sleep tonight. We would like to suggest, as part of a promotion for something that will be in production soon for the site by our good friend John Little, that you look up the 4 writers. That's 4 lowercase, the lowercase, number 4, lowercase again, writers on Twitter for great tweets from the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Don't be surprised if you don't laugh at anything Death says. Death just isn't funny. We also hopefully within a couple of weeks be making another announcement, but I want to make sure certain things are happening first. So thank you for coming this week. Thank you, Chasen, for finally joining us.
I'll be back.
He will be back.
Better, damn it.
You have been warned. Thank you to all the virgins who have fallen for the trap. I'm sorry that I basically just grabbed a used copy of Twilight, burned all the inside pages, and filled it with newspaper, but it's your fault for not knowing the difference.
Give
So,
that
good
man a Taliban commander.
So good night, Geekdom. We will see you next week. Well, we will report on the fact that Michael Bay has been strung up by his balls and will not be released until he finally stops doing Transformers and Turtles movies. Good night.